So let's shift gears and talk about false pastors and deceptions. So what's the difference between a flawed pastor and a false pastor? Like a pastor who is genuinely trying, but they just flawed, versus somebody who's just actively leading people astray on purpose.
I think it all just boils down to pastors just in general, like flawed or just falling down. I think it all boils down to people who or pastors who just want to please the world. They want to please their congregation in a way so they don't lose their congregation. So, um, I think if you look at every pastor and if you want to deem if a pastor's doing God's will, if they're not, just look at what they're preaching. If they're only preaching prosperity, they're only preaching that God's love you, that they're only preaching that you don't have to do certain things, then you can say that he has some flaws. You can say that he's fallen off, in a sense.
So why do you think false teachers are gaining so much influence?
Social media,
Social media,
they
the
they
devil.
they yeah. I mean, they're they're preaching to the itching ears. People want to feel comfortable in their sin. That's the reason. They want to feel comfortable in doing their sin. So
But sin is so comfortable though.
yeah, it is. So if I'm a pastor and I'm preaching,
It feels good to your flesh.
yeah. The only thing I'm telling my congregation is, God's gonna bless you, God's gonna bless you, God's gonna bless you. But I don't tell them that, you got to do X, Y, and Z to get that blessing. People
You
like
have to
that. They just want to receive blessings
turn
from
from
God.
sin.
Yeah.
Turn from sin. Sin, go and sin no more. That's what he told the prostitute lady.
Yeah.
So why are some red flags? What are some red flags people should watch out for in a spiritual leader? I would say overly flirtatious.
Yeah.
That's one. A lot of pastors are overly flirtatious.
That I would say
Self-centered.
Yes,
Me.
If he's only just preaching prosperity, if he's willing not, if he's not, if he's trying to, if he's not gonna blatantly say this is a sin, then that's a red flag.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're trying to justify, I seen a, I'm not gonna name any names of any mega church pastors, but I seen a pastor. He was trying to justify, or it wasn't justifying it. He was just trying to make people feel comfortable that were in same-sex marriage, and he was just kind of the way he was kind of preaching it. He was just making them feel comfortable in what they were doing, and that's a red flag.
We ain't diving into that topic just yet. Maybe another episode. How can someone protect themselves from being deceived by wolves in sheep clothing?
Read this Bible. Read the Bible. Open this
For
Bible
yourself.
and read it, and make sure you have the word instilled inside of you. Because if you don't read this Bible, if
You don't know anything.
Yeah, if I'm standing up and I'm preaching to you and I'm saying, hey, God's saying this in his word, and you just running with it, but you don't really know that's in the word, you're gonna be easily deceived.
I was watching a podcast yesterday, and it was a pastor being interviewed, and he was like, "You pastors aren't perfect; they are humans, and they make mistakes. And this is why when he preached, I do the same thing: is look it up for yourself, read it for yourself in the Bible, and if I'm wrong, let me know that I'm wrong."
Yeah.
So then he was like, "Sometimes I've been wrong, and I had to go back to my congregation that next week and address it. Hey guys, I was wrong. Let me clear the air." Because I got this scripture wrong, and I cannot lead you guys down the wrong path. And I think it's a pride issue. A lot of pastors like, I'm never wrong. I'm a pastor.
Yeah.
But there's people who are called the pastor. Then those people who call themselves. Those are ones you. And the feedback.
We got a lot of ones who call themselves.
Yeah. And then to piggyback off of reading the word, like when you read the Bible and you pray, the more you do that, the more discernment you will get.
Yeah.
Because you got to have a spirit of discernment. Like I would know off bat when someone's preaching if they are about it or not, because you just have to know.
Yeah, you gotta be able to. If you don't have that word inside of you, if you don't just know at least what the word is saying, then you're not gonna pick up on what they're saying.
You can just tell by people when they open their mouth if they know the word or not.
Yeah.
They just faking it.
And knowing the word does not mean that you can just
Do
quote
whatever.
scriptures
Yeah.
back to, you know what I'm saying? Like I can't just say I can remember something's in the word, but that doesn't mean I know it came from this book, this chapter, that's not just, I ain't saying people got to be like that. They just got to be able to just wait a minute. I don't think that's in the Bible, and you can back it up by going to the Bible and saying that it's not.
Yeah. I mean, Google is free.
Hey, Google will tell you.
It's free.
You got a Bible app on your phone. You can open it up and search it.